From my right, Chris Carter, Edgar Poe, Jeremy Tim, and Calvin White. We'll open it up to questions. Go ahead, Rob.
Chris, you got off to a fantastic start today. Second half, you seemed to get a little bit of the yips. Was just stuff building up in your system, or it was just you were due for a slump, or what?
I just went out there the same I did first half, but we got to give it to Navy. They're a good team. They executed. They're just a good team, and indeed, we did our best, and yeah.
This was like what you did today was like a pitcher making a second start in the World Series. I mean, this is your second start, for God's sakes. How did you think going into the game you were going to take on it?
I knew my team had my back. They support me a lot, all the guys. I'm thankful for that. Blessed to have a team like this. They all believed in me, and I really appreciate them for that. I just want to do my best for them.
This is actually for Jeremy. Just looking at the stats, you guys really shut down Navy's offense. I mean, they've had a few big plays overall. To talk about the preparation going into this game, were you guys, did you sense that you had an idea of what they were going to do?
Yeah, we had a couple bye weeks going into it, and Coach Bateman's our defensive coordinator, and he's a heck of a coach, and he devised up a plan that worked exactly how we wanted it to. And then we have a lot of good supporting assistant coaches, and the whole defense as a whole. We all bought into that philosophy, and everyone played their jobs well. Most of their yards came off just big plays here and there. So, Keaton Reynolds is a good player. He made some plays. So, we expected that to happen. So, but overall, I thought our defense played exactly how Coach Bateman wanted us to.
Chris, you played super today in a second start, and it seemed like Navy came out very aggressive on defense in the third quarter. Had a couple of sacks. What adjustments? What was that like when Navy really came out aggressive at you in the third quarter?
We as an offense, we knew it was coming. We just needed to execute better, but we did our best, and they're a good team, they're good defense. We have to give it to them.
Kelvin, your friend DeAndre are best friends. You're both seniors. Did you have a chance to talk to him after this game? Hopefully, talk about the game and how it went and the emotions that you have afterwards.
No, I haven't talked to DeAndre, but if I did, I would just tell him how much I appreciate his hard work and how him working hard and becoming a man this year really helped me out. You have guys like that on your team who are selfless, and we tried something that didn't work out, and he's my best friend, so yeah, I'm gonna pick him up. We're gonna be all right.
How tough is it to go out on a play like that?
Which one?
His throw.
That's not how we went out. We went out on a Hail Mary because our defense made a play, a drive, sent them 3 and out. We had another opportunity. So how's it feel to go out like we did? It sucks, but the team, coaches had the confidence in me to throw a Hail Mary pass. We practiced it a lot, and it didn't work out in our favor. Navy played really well in the second half, so I'll give all the credit to them.
Edgar, the 50-yard punt return right away. Did you guys think it was important to hit Navy with a big play, like pretty much from the get-go, to almost put a stamp on the game right away?
I think it was important to make a statement early that we're here to play too. There's a lot of people talking about how we had no chance, but in our locker room, it didn't even feel like we were underdogs, and we didn't do anything that was out of body. We just called a punt return scheme and executed it really well, and it worked out in our favor. It was a good way to start the game off.
No. 0-14 against me. Does that factor into anything as far as one game early year kind of thing? What's it?
Well, I'm on 4 against Navy. I don't, like Edgar was just saying, if you came in our locker room, you wouldn't know that a 2-9 team is playing a 9-2 team. You know, I went out there with as much confidence I could have, and whatever the experts say, that doesn't affect me. So the streak is 14 now. But the good thing for us is the 2016 team hasn't played them yet, so we'll be all right.
All right. One more.
This team very easily could have been 6-5 going into today's game. What do you feel might be the one thing you guys can do to become a better team for next year and get that 6-5 or better record and be a better Army team than what you guys are currently?
Yeah, so that's an easy one to answer. I mean, we got a lot of young guys, and if you watch a lot of our games, I mean, these games are coming down to a few plays here and there. And I mean, so you got young talent who is about to go into the off season and not be so young talent anymore. So, I mean, I'm confident. I mean, these guys are confident. We've worked hard. They're going to work hard in this off season. We're going to drive them. The seniors and the juniors are going to drive these young guys, and we're going to have a lot of really talented sophomores and juniors coming into this team. So I don't see it being that big of a challenge.
Just want to add to that. You know, we had Lou Holtz come into our facility and talk about what it takes to win and how you have to go through a competitive stage. And, you know, the fact is that we lost 6 games by 26 points. And that's one difference of one play. So, I mean, you look at it like Tim said, we have teams where, special teams, where we have 9 freshmen on the field. We have no seniors on the field on special teams. So when you look at it like that, you have nothing but encouragement. And there's no reason to get discouraged. You know, the seniors wish that we could have went out better than 2-10, but there's stuff behind the scenes that, you know, reporters and fans, they don't see. They don't see that our team has. They don't know that everyone up here can tell you 150 people's names, our high school, and where they live at. And that doesn't happen on every team. And, you know, that's something that Coach Munkin drove home for us. And we have a good core here. So you guys stay tuned. We'll be excited.
All right. Thanks, guys. Okay.
Coach will begin with an opening statement and take questions. Go ahead, Coach.
I don't know what to say after a loss like that. It's incredibly disappointing for everybody involved. And I couldn't be more proud of a football team than I am of ours. And I've been fortunate to coach and be a part of teams as an assistant and as a head coach that have won championships and had incredible seasons in terms of wins and losses. And I don't know a team that I respect and admire more than our team. Week in and week out, they have battled, and we've come so close to victory and been disappointed so many times. And I said on Friday after we went through the workout here at the stadium to our coaches, just as you see our guys move around and the level of professionalism that they practiced with that day, yesterday. And that's kind of been the way they've handled it all year long. They've come back the next day. We practice on Sundays after we play, and they've come back every Sunday, though they're disappointed, and we can push them and drive them, and they're resilient. I can tell you this. The enemy that those seniors are going to face in about 8 months, they're in for it because we got some fighters. There's nothing anybody's going to throw at them that's going to back them down. And ultimately, that's our job at West Point, is to build those warriors They're going to protect all of us and protect the freedoms and the way of life that we enjoy. And we got a whole team full of guys that fight. And they did again tonight. They gave it everything they had, laid it on the line, and it just comes down to execution. And Navy executed and made some plays when they needed to. And we made some errors, some critical errors at times that weren't forced. We can't make those errors. And when you do, sometimes you get beat. You know, it's nobody realizes, unless you're part of a team and you're part of something like this group is, and just the emotional investment that you have in the other people that you're with. It's really incredible to be a part of something like that. It's really special. I'm very fortunate to be a part of something like that. And I'm absolutely positive that we got a room full of guys in there that are going to find a way to win. Because they had a chance to quit tonight, and they didn't. They've had a chance to quit a lot of times all year, and they haven't. And I know they're going to fight and keep fighting. And I'm encouraged. Though I'm incredibly disappointed, I'm encouraged by what I saw out of our team tonight. And I've got nothing but praise for those guys and the effort that they put in. And I'm sorry for the long-winded start to the press conference.
Coach, what did you tell your players after the game?
I told them I loved them, and I do, and I was proud of them, and I am. And just what I told you, that we're going to continue to fight. We're not going to be discouraged. We can be disappointed. It's disappointing for all of us, but we're not going to be discouraged. We're going to come back and work and find a way to win and to win those games, and we will. And I told them to embrace these seniors one more time. It's the last time we'd ever be together like that as a team, and that we got some seniors that are going to go out there, and they're the soldiers that we're going to be representing in this game next year. So a real privilege for us to be able to wish them well as they move on.
Coaches, I thought if you could talk about Chris Carter starting, and he played well. He connected with Edgar Poe 5 times in the game, and Navy seemed like they really came out very strong against him in the third quarter with blitzes.
They did. They brought some pressure. We didn't handle it very well in picking up the blitzes, and you know, at times he got back there and he felt the pressure coming, and you know, experience will teach him to throw that thing three rows into the stands. You'll be catching it over on the sideline next year, I hope, when that happens. But he just trying to make a play. That's the second college football game he's ever played in, and I thought he played his heart out. He made some he made some mistakes. He made some critical errors, but I thought he played just as hard and as good as we could have expected for a guy playing his second game and the second one, or his first Army-Navy game and his second start of his career.
Sal.
Coach, can you talk about the decision to throw the option pass with DeAndre Bell at that point of the game?
Yeah, we were just trying to hit him. We had the ball about the 40-yard line, and it's a play that we had worked on. When we threw the pick over on our sideline, we were trying to throw it to Poe, and they got in cover 2, and the number 2 receiver was a sprint out pass, and it was just a stutter and go streak route to Edgar. And they turned the number 2 receiver wide open. He's running down the field. And, I mean, there's nobody. If he throws it to him, it's a touchdown there. And if you look at the second half stats, I mean, we started the second half, and it was we got a big penalty on the first drive, and so it's 3 and out. They went 3 and out. We go 3 and out. They go 3 and out. We go 3 and out. They hit a 50-yard pass. We get the ball back. We go 3 and out. They go 3 and out. I mean, we weren't moving the ball very well. We got the ball down there at the 40-yard line, and we couldn't kick a field goal to win it. We had to get the ball down there in position to try to score. And as much of a struggle as it had been for us to chip away and chip away and chip away, I thought they'd turn the guy wide open like they did on the sprint out pass, and I thought they'd play cover 2 and have an extra safety over the top. And they played the guy backed up, and the safety backed up and covered him. And he got a little pressure from the outside linebacker who followed the slot out there. The slot was going to kick the corner. And he got a little bit of pressure in his face and kind of threw it inside. And we would have had to make a great play, but he might have caught it or go incomplete, and you try it again. We were just trying to hit a big play. And throughout the day, when we scored or we were in scoring position, we had hit a big play, a big pass play, and we felt like we needed to get one. I didn't know, from there it was going to be into the end zone. I thought we might hit him in stride, but as it turns out, they made a great play.
Is DeAndre coach, if it's not there, to just step out of bounds, or
No. I mean, if it's not there, it's tuck it and run. But he saw him running down the field, and it wasn't like the guy was blanket covered him. There was a guy there. He just put it up there and tried to give him a chance to go make a play. And the kid made a heck of a catch. He made a heck of a play. Tyler Campbell could have gone up and made a heck of a play and brought it down himself. And it's just man versus man. You get it or I get it. And they went and got it.
Coach, I know you have not been here for these 14 losses today. Is it a simple case, what you can tell, just getting better football players, or is it more to this?
Oh, there's a lot of things. It's talent sure makes a difference. But I don't think there was a grave disparity between the two football teams today in terms of talent. And that's no disrespect to Navy. They got some very talented players, and they got some guys that are really good football players. That quarterback is as valuable to his team as anybody in the country. He's really good, but he's not the only one. They got some other good players. But we got some good players too. These guys will mature, and we'll get more. And Coach Johnson, who I worked for a long time, said physical superiority cancels all theory, and he's right. If you're just flat out better and more talented, you're probably going to win. Your chances to win are pretty good. They're a lot better than they are to losing. But I don't think we're that far away. I think they got some guys. I think we got some guys too. There were a lot of freshmen played in that game for us tonight. I don't know how many. We played 24 in the last game. So there's a lot of freshmen that are playing. Good thing about them is they're going to be sophomores next year. So I think there's some good things ahead for us, and it's execution. We don't have to drop. It's 2 out of 3 plays we dropped a snap. We dropped the snap. We hit a 35-yard pass. Drop the next snap and turn it over. We got to fix that. We practice it. How many snaps we take a day, but it happens, and it happened tonight. Unfortunately, it happened to them too. They fumbled some snaps too. Lucky for them, it rolled back toward them. It didn't roll toward us. We had one that rolled toward them. So there's a couple times where we're on the perimeter and they fired the corner, and we're trying to go out there and arc block them, and we got to cut them. We got to get them on the ground. Can't get knocked back. We got knocked back some. That's talent, maybe coaching. I don't know, but we got to improve. We got to get better, and I'm confident we will. That's a well-coached football team. I've got great respect for Kenny and that whole staff. They do a terrific job with those kids.
Coach, you did a much better job containing Reynolds in the second half. Did you work on anything in halftime specifically to tail him?
No, it was really the calls were the same. The long run he had for the touchdown, he ran 2 plays in a row, 2-play drive, ran a 17-yard and 50-some yard, and it was we just overran it. The guys get overzealous. They're running to the ball, and it cut back behind us. The play side linebacker really should have been playing that thing inside out on the long run, and he got by it, and the tackle got on him, kind of pushed him out to the sideline, or toward the sideline, I should say, and he cut back behind. And that's the thing that Keenan has done all year and done really effectively, and their team has done effectively, is get those little creases, and he finds them. And it's it's the difference between Chris Carter. and there's a freshman. We ran a very similar lead play going away from the building here down there in the fourth quarter, and he took a 5-yard loss trying to string it out, and that's, Keenan, he just puts his foot in the ground and 0 gain, and it would have been 3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and 10, and that's just comes from experience, and he's got a real. I said that I think in the press conference last week when you guys were there, he just got a real knack for finding a hole and gaining yards. So it wasn't a big game plan change. It was just trying to do what we were doing better. I thought Jay had a great plan.
Coach, what do you think about the way you guys were, I guess by their standards, able to kind of contain their running game, I guess particularly the dive with the middle?
Well, they contained ours pretty good too. The familiarity with the two offenses, our defensive staffs and our offensive staff talking with our defensive staff and their offensive staff talking with Dale and their defensive staff. Hey, what do you like, and how does this hurt you, and how does this affect you, and so it's a real cat and mouse game when you play these games, and a lot of times these academy games, because it's the same offense and the same defense, it so well, and sometimes it can be an advantage, and sometimes it's a disadvantage because they do know us so well.
Last question.
Coach, I can't remember an Army game where you had more passing yardage than rushing, 208 to 137. Was it part of the game plan to just use Chris's passing skill?
Well, as much as Edgar Poe has done in terms of making some really great catches this year, I thought we needed to give him a chance to try to help us win the football game and give him opportunities to catch the ball. We've had this conversation before too. When we throw for more yards than we run it, it's usually not a great day. It's we're a running football team, and so are they, and we want to run the ball, and we want to run it effectively, and when you run the ball and you got a defense you're facing that knows your offense so well, knows the things that can hurt you, and all the little tweaks that you can put into the defense to confuse the quarterback and make it tough to block on the perimeter and things like that. It's oftentimes playing or hitting the play action passes, if you can protect it, gives you the best chance to hit a big play. And we had a bunch of them. We had a bunch of different protections and a bunch of different actions and angles to try to create some plays, and we about emptied the tank. I mean, we threw a bunch of them, and we had a couple others that were called, and obviously got sacked, and that was disappointing. But we knew we were going to have to throw it some and hit some big plays, and that was a conversation we had early on in preparing for this game. Is that we were going to have to hit some big plays to put ourselves in scoring position. We likely weren't going to be able to chip away all the way down the field and have a 14-play drive just running the ball. And neither team was able to do that. So both, again, they hit that big play in the second half on the play action pass on the crossing routes, and we kind of got picked off, and the guy was wide open. One, because we weren't covering, we got picked, and that's the way it works. So they probably had the same thing in mind.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.